will be sharing knowledge for researchers, early career researchers mostly, for us to upskill in some sets of skill usually that are not taught in the traditional education curriculum. So mostly it's sets of skill that will be needed for us to thrive in academic, in the professions, and in a global context. So just to remind us, I'm sure we may have heard the sound that the section is being recorded. So for us to have housekeeping notes, we are recording this section, and your continued participation indicates that you're giving us your consent to be part of the recording. So we try to reduce the background noise as much as possible. So we make all participants to remain muted, and we also urge us to be muted except for the speaker. So if you experience any issues at all during the section, please you can reach out to us you can email us actually on zoom1@inaps.info, or you can email ugo.f.okuta@gmail.com, or please, you can quickly add that in the chat section, in the chat just below. You can add that any comments, any observation you need us to address. I can see someone say, I can hear, can you hear me, Akwasi?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you well. Someone just said, yeah, I can hear you well.
All right. Thank you. So just to make us also to realize that we'll be having this section between 45 minutes for the presentation and then 15 minutes for question and answer. Please raise your virtual hand or type your question in the chat when we are ready for question and answer section. Please feel free to drop your comments at any time during the section. So thank you so much for having us here, and thank you for giving us your time to collaborate, to listen to our speaker. So I will go ahead to introduce our speaker for today. Please remember the section. The topic is actually a launch of the soft skills series. So the topic is future ready researchers, building skills, network, and global recognition. So we are happy to have Mr. Mohammed Umad. He is the director of Al Fateh Institute of Health Sciences in Islamabad, Pakistan, and is recognized expert in health and digital education. And he's got a lot of credentials and certifications, which I believe in the course of the section, he will break it down for us to actually, he'll walk us through to how he's been able to get all the certifications. So he's got a global partnership, including UNESCO, with UNESCO, IBM, and Lenovo. He brings extensive experience in academic networking, healthcare education, and professional development. He also serves on international advisory committees such as the FIP Pharmacy Technician Advisory Committee and the Lenovo Academic Network. His work empowers early career scholars with skills, visibility, and international connections, which are necessary for impactful careers. So we are really happy to have Mr. Omar here. So please, over to you, Mr. Omar. The floor is set for you. Thank you so much for giving us your time.
Thank you, Ugo. Thank you very much for this incredible introduction. And I would like to thank all the audience that have also come for this session. So without any further ado, let us begin the session. Hello everyone and welcome. I'm truly delighted to see so many of you joining us for the very first session of our soft skills series, Future Ready Researchers, Building Skills, network, and global recognition. Thank you for taking this hour out of your busy schedule and for investing in yourselves as researchers, professionals, and global contributors. I want to begin by setting the tone for what today is about. Research has always been about the pursuit of knowledge, discovery, and truth. But in today's world, knowledge alone isn't enough. The real question is, how do we take the knowledge we create and turn it into impact? How do we ensure that the hours, days, and years we spend on our projects actually influence lives, inform decisions, and shape the future? That's where soft skills, networks, and recognition come in. And that's why we are here today. Let me share a little bit about myself, not as a boast, but as a way of grounding today's conversation. My name is Muhammad Umaid, and I work at the intersection of health sciences, education, and digital technology. Over the years, I have been fortunate to earn more than 850 international credentials from over 300 organizations, and through them, I've built a verified portfolio of over 3,000 digital skills. I serve as country representative for Haifa, Healthcare Information for All. I have been part of a global advisory council for Harvard Business Review and the International Pharmaceutical Federation, FIP PTAC. I also collaborate with global giants like IBM and Oracle on education and digital learning initiatives. Why do I share this? Because I want to demonstrate something important. The world no longer only values the knowledge we hold in our heads, it values the skill we can demonstrate, the networks we can join, and the recognition we can gain for our contribution. These are the multipliers of impact. Think Soft Skill series is designed to give you practical ways to build those multipliers. Think of it as a toolkit, a place where you can not only understand the theory, but also walk away with actionable steps you can apply immediately in your research journey. In today's session, we'll cover three main things. One, how to build practical skills that make your research more impactful. Two, how to grow networks that amplify your reach and connect you globally. Three, how to gain recognition both academically and beyond so that your contributions don't remain hidden. Over the next 45 minutes, I'll walk you through each of these areas, share global trends, and offer insight from my own experience. I'll give you real example of how these elements transformed my path from a student of health sciences in Pakistan to someone now connected with hundreds of organizations worldwide. And then in the last 15 minutes, we'll open the floor for question and answer. I want this to be interactive, so bring your questions, your reflections, and your challenges. But before we dive deeper, let's reflect for a moment. If I were to ask you right now, what makes a researcher future ready? Most of us would think of technical expertise, mastering methods, designing experiments, publishing papers. And yes, those are absolutely essential, but they are not the full picture. Future ready researchers are those who can adopt, communicate, collaborate, and showcase their work to the world. That's what today is about. It's about broadening our perspective so that each of you can begin to see yourself not as researchers in a lab or in front of a computer, but as contributors to a global conversation, one where your voice, your work, and your impact truly matters. So let's begin this journey together.
Hello, Mr. Omar.
Yes.
Yes. I think, can you put the screen on presentation mode? I think it's quite small for some of the participants to see. Yeah, to make it a bit bolder. Do you see where no, now it's a bit small. Yeah, this is a lot better. By the side, it should say presentation mode. I'm trying to look.
Can you see the presentation now?
Yes, but it's still a bit
Yes, should I
small. Yeah,
continue?
the screen needs to be a bit bigger, but it's a lot better than before though. Yeah, it's a lot better now.
Is it better now?
Yeah, 1 minute.
Should I continue?
Oh, just 1 minute, please. I think this is fair enough now. Yeah, this is a lot better now. Please, if you don't see the screen, can you put the your message up in the chat box, please? If you still have any issues viewing the screens, please put your message in the chat box. Thank you. Mr. Omar, you can continue. Thank you so much.
Okay, sure. The future ready researcher. Now that we have set the stage, let's dive into the big question. What does it mean to be a future ready researcher? When I say future ready, I don't just mean someone who is prepared for their next paper, their next grant, or their next conference. I mean someone who is equipped to thrive in a research world that is changing rapidly, shaped by digital transformation, global collaboration, and the demand for real world impact. Let me ask you, how many of you feel that your technical expertise is strong, but you sometimes wonder whether your skill will remain relevant 5 or 10 years from now? That's an honest fear many of us carry. And the truth is, the tools, methods, and even knowledge frameworks we use today will evolve. But the ability to adopt, to learn continuously, and to connect globally, those are the enduring skills. So, what defines a future ready researcher? I would highlight three dimensions. One, mastery of social skills alongside technical expertise. Two, awareness of global trends shaping the research careers. And three, ability to position oneself visibly in the international landscape. Let's unpack each. Soft skills as multiplier. Technical skills, whether in health sciences, engineering, data analysis, or social sciences, are your foundation. But soft skills are the multipliers of that foundation. Think about it. You can be the most brilliant scientist in your lab, but if you cannot communicate your findings, lead a team, or adopt to change, your work risks being overlooked. In my own journey, I realized this very early. I had a choice to remain focused purely on technical knowledge or to complement it with broader competencies. That's when I started engaging with platforms like Treadly, where I earned hundreds of micro credentials in communication, leadership, digital education, and beyond. Today, with over 850 credentials and 3,000 verified skills, I can confidently say that these soft skills have allowed me to collaborate and be recognized far beyond my local context. So, for you as researcher, think about soft skills not as extras, but as the bridge between your work and its impact. Number two, global trends in research careers. The second dimension is awareness of global trends. Let me share three key shifts. A. Interdisciplinary work. The future of research is not confined to silos. Increasingly, solutions come from the intersection of discipline. Health sciences meets artificial intelligence, environmental studies meets economics, social sciences meets data analytics. A future ready researcher is comfortable stepping outside their narrow lane and collaborating across fields. B. Digital platforms and collaboration. Technology has transformed how research is conducted, shared, and recognized. Platforms now allow you to publish preprints, share data sets, co-author globally, and build communities online. If you want to be visible, you need to be present in these digital spaces. Personally, collaborations with organizations like IBM and Oracle became possible not because I physically traveled anywhere, but because I built a digital presence and showcased my skills online. C. Rise of micro credentials. Traditional degrees remain important, but micro credentials and digital badges are exploding in recognition. They serve as proof of specific skills, instant, verifiable, and globally portable. When a joint advisory councils like the Harvard Business Review and the FIP Pharmacy Technician Advisory Committee, it wasn't just because of my qualifications, it was because I had a visible, credible portfolio of demonstrated competencies that aligned with global needs. These trends aren't just abstract ideas, they are signals of where research careers are heading.
Excuse me,
And
Mr. Muhammad. Excuse
yes,
me.
please.
Sorry. Yeah, the slides are not moving. We can see that you are on slide 7, but we are still displaying slide number 3. Is it okay if you click on the button where you can put it on a presentation mode so that we can all see where you are?
And actually, their slides are, we are doing fine with the slides as well. So let me just shift it a bit over here. Yeah, now we are fine. You will be able to understand
Yes.
it from here. Yes.
Yes. So when you are at any slide, when you want to shift, let's move together.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, good.
Okay, sure. And number three, positioning yourself globally. The third dimension is visibility. A a future-ready researcher doesn't just produce work that ensure that work travels. They build profiles, join networks, and actively position themselves to be part of international conversations. Think about recognition not as self-promotion, but as responsibility. If your research could save lives, improve system, or solve critical problems, don't you owe it to the world to make it seen? For me, positioning globally has meant creating a digital identity, maintaining an active Credly profile with 3,000 plus skills, engaging in global communities through HIFA, IBM Academic Network, and other platforms, serving as a well-being ambassador for ASHP and as global representative in initiatives that span continents. These opportunities didn't appear by chance. They came because of deliberate efforts to showcase skills, join conversations, and respond to opportunities. So let me ask you, if someone searched your name today, what would they find? Would they see only a few papers hidden in academic database? Or would they see a global researcher who is global researchers who is active, visible, and connected? Would they find evidence not only of what you know, but of how you apply it and contribute to communities? Future-ready researchers are those who answer yes to these questions. So to summarize, being future-ready means balancing technical expertise with soft skills, staying alert to global trends, and making yourself visible internationally. In the next section, we'll go deeper. We'll talk specifically about three pillars: how to build practical skills, how to grow network, and how to gain global credential. And I'll share how I have personally applied these in my journey so you can see practical pathways for yourselves.
Hello. Hello.
Yes.
Yes. So the last speaker explained that the presentations are not moving based on
Yeah,
your
actually, the thing
yeah.
is, I've got a very few slides. I've got just 10 slides. So
Okay.
whatever I'm saying, like it's just the crux of that thing. The key points are in the slide. The rest I'm trying to explain, based on my
Okay.
experience, based on my knowledge, based on my research. So it's more of like a conversational style. And the
Okay.
slides are just there so that, like we can understand the topic that I'm speaking. The rest, like
Mhm.
you can listen to it, you can understand it, and later on the audience they can watch it, so they can grasp the important point of the presentation as well.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, sure. So core theme A, building practical skills. All right, let's begin with the first pillar of becoming a future ready researcher: building practical skills. Now, I want to reflect for a moment. When you think of research, what comes up to mind first? Probably things like literature review, data collection, methodology, statistical analysis. Those are important. But let me tell you something: they are not the skills that make or break your career in the long run. What truly makes the difference are practical skills, the ones that help you apply knowledge, connect with others, and lead effectively. Let me break this down into four that I believe are absolutely non negotiable for any researcher today. Number one, communication. Number two, leadership. Number three, adaptability. And number four, critical thinking. Communication is more than writing a paper. It's about making complex ideas simple and compelling. If you can't explain your work to a policymaker, to a funder, or even to your grandmother, then you have limited potential. In my own case, communication skills opened doors far beyond academic journals. When I began collecting digital credentials, I focused on ones that strengthened this very skill. Excuse me. I completed dozens of courses on presentation, storytelling, and even digital teaching methods. Those small, focused efforts give me the confidence to not just do the work, but to share it effectively. Ask yourself, how can I improve my ability to tell the story of my research? Number two, leadership. The second skill is leadership. And by leadership, I don't mean having a fancy title. I mean the ability to inspire, organize, and guide others towards a goal. Future ready researchers rarely work alone. They lead small teams, supervise students, collaborate across labs, or even coordinate with institutions worldwide. That requires empathy, vision, and ability to manage conflict. When I become the country representative for Haifa, Healthcare Information for All, I wasn't managing hundreds of employees, but I was leading conversation, mobilizing health professions, and ensuring Pakistan had a voice in a global dialogue. Leadership in research means stepping up even when you are not asked to do. Adaptability. The third is adaptability. If the pandemic taught us something, it's that researchers must be ready to pivot. Conferences are cancelled, labs closed, but research continues. Those who adopt, shifting to digital platforms, exploring virtual collaboration, or even changing their research focus keep thriving. Personally, adaptability was key in expanding beyond health science into digital education. When opportunities came from organizations like IBM or Oracle, I could engage because I had trained myself to adopt, to learn quickly, and to apply new information. As researchers, ask yourself, if tomorrow your main method or tool disappeared, how quickly could you adjust? The answer defines your adaptability. And number four, critical thinking. Finally, critical thinking. Now I know you might be thinking, but all researchers are critical thinkers. But in today's world, it's just not about analyzing your data set. It's about questioning assumption, evaluating sources, and making sound judgments in a sea of information and misinformation. When I started earning micro credentials, I didn't just pick technical topics. I chose courses that challenged my worldviews. Ethics in AI, global health equity, leadership under uncertainty. Each of these shaped how I approach problems critically and holistically. So, how do you see actually build these skills? Let me give you three simple strategies. Number one, seek micro credentials and short courses. Don't wait for degree program. Platforms like Coursera, EDX, and Credly have targeted courses. This is how I built my profile of over 850 credentials. Each one sharpened a specific skill. Practice daily. Communication, start a blog or share insights on LinkedIn. Leadership, volunteer to coordinate a small research team. Adaptability, learn a tool outside your field. Critical thinking, engage with diverse perspective, read outside your discipline. And third, reflect and get feedback. Skills grow faster when you seek honest input. Present your research to a non specialist audience and ask, did they understand, and how you refine communication? I want to pause here and share something personal. Early in my journey, I once delivered a research presentation where I filled every slide with statistics, complex model, and jargon. At the end, someone asked me a very simple question: so what? That moment hit me hard. I realized that while I had the technical skill, I hadn't connected with the audience. And from that day forward, I committed to building communication as a skill. And today, it's one of the reasons I'm able to facilitate sessions like these. So when I say practical skills are essential, it's not theory, it's a lived experience. So to recap, the core four core practical skills: communication, leadership, adaptability, and critical thinking are what elevate your research from isolated work to impactful contribution. Now that we have looked at skills, let's move to the next pillar: growing networks. Because no matter how strong your skills are, without the right connection, your research will have limited reach. And trust me, your network can change your entire trajectory. Now, let's talk about the second pillar of becoming a future ready researcher, growing networks. I want to imagine something for a moment. You have just completed an outstanding research project, one that has the potential to change how people think or how a system works. But here's the problem: if no one beyond your immediate circle knows about it, then its potential is locked away. That's why a network counts. Network are the bridges between your work and the world. They connect you to collaborators, mentors, funders, and policy makers. They turn solitary research into shared impact. Why network matters? You have probably heard the phrase, it's not what you know, it's who you know. Now, in research, I wouldn't go that far. Of course, knowledge counts, but I would say what you know becomes powerful when the right person also know you. Think about it. Every major breakthrough in science and health, from vaccines to AI applications, happened not because of one isolated genius, but because of networks of researchers sharing, debating, and building together. For me personally, networks have been one of the biggest catalysts in this journey. I did not reach international platforms simply by sitting at my desk. I reached them by engaging with people, joining communities, and contributing to conversations. Type of networks. So, what kind of network should a future ready researcher build? Let me highlight three. Number one, academic and professional networks. These include societies, associations, and research groups in your field. For me, one of the most significant has been HIFA, Healthcare Information for All, where I serve as the country representative for Pakistan, and I'm also assistant global coordinator for country representative groups all over the world. This role plugged me into global network of health professionals, policymakers, and educators. It means I can contribute my country's perspective to global discussion and in turn bring international knowledge back home. Number two, cross industry networks. Sometimes the most powerful connections come from outside your direct field. For example, as a health science educator, why would I connect with IBM or Oracle? Because they are leaders in digital transformation, and digital tools are transforming health and education. These connections help me explore the intersection of healthcare and technology, opening new opportunities I could not have imagined before. And three, personal development networks. These are communities that help you grow as a professional and as a person. Through my 850 credentials, I have been part of networks on platforms like Credly, where learners across the world connect, share, and inspire each other. These aren't just badges, they are doors into communities. Now you might be thinking, okay, but how do I actually build these networks? Let me share some practical steps. Number one, step one, show up. Network only work if you are present. Attend conferences, and if you can't travel, attend virtually. Join webinars, contribute to online forums, comment on LinkedIn posts. For instance, many of my global connections started from something as small as asking a thoughtful question in a webinar chat. Step two, contribute before you consume. Don't just join a group and wait for others to give you value. Share your insights, your findings, or even your questions. When I joined Haifa, I didn't wait to be noticed. I actively contributed perspective from Pakistan's healthcare system. That's how opportunities emerge. Step three, maintain relationships. Network is not about collecting business cards or LinkedIn connections. It's about building relationships. Send follow up notes, share articles that might interest someone, congratulate people on their achievement. A little effort goes a long way. And step 4, think global, act local. Your networks should span across border, but don't ignore your local context. Build strong ties in your home country, your institution, your national association, and then connect them outward. That's how you create impact both locally and globally. Let me share a quick story. A few years ago, I connected with someone through a small online course community. We kept in touch, share idea about health education. That connection eventually led me to an introduction within the Pharmacy Technician Advisory Committee, where I now proudly serve as a member. Think about that. From a simple course discussion thread to contributing at the global scale. That's the power of networks. You never know which small interaction today could change the course of your career tomorrow. Overcoming common barriers. I know some of you might be thinking, I am introvert, or I don't have access to international conferences, or I don't know where to start. Here's the good news. Building network doesn't require you to be the loudest person in the room or to travel the world. It requires you to be genuine, consistent, and curious. Even sending one thoughtful email, joining one online group, or commenting on one article a week can slowly expand your network. Remember, you are not trying to impress everyone, you are trying to find your people, those who care about the same questions you do. So, to summarize, network are not optional. They are the lifeblood of impactful research. They bring your work into conversation, connect you with the resource, and positions you in place where opportunities find you. And here's the exciting part. Once you have built skills and network, the next step is to ensure that world recognizes your contribution. That brings us to our third and final pillar, gaining global recognition. Now we come to the third pillar of becoming a future ready researcher, gaining global recognition. Let's be honest for a moment. Many of us grow up hearing do good work and the world will notice. But in today's world, that is not enough. You can spend years conducting excellent research, but if you don't make it visible, if you don't showcase it in the right way, the world may never know it exists. Recognition is not about ego, it's about responsibility. If your research can save lives, shape policy, or transform knowledge, then you owe it to the society to ensure it's seen, acknowledged, and applied. Why recognition matters? Recognition brings three key benefits. Number one, credibility. When others can verify your skill, qualification, and contribution, they trust your work more. Number two, opportunities. Visibility attracts collaboration, funding, and invitations. And three, impact. The more recognized your work is, the more likely it is to influence real world change. And recognition is no longer limited to journal publications or conference presentations. It comes in many forms. Forms of global recognition. Let's explore a few practical avenues. Number one, digital credential and badges. Today, digital platforms like Credly allow you to showcase specific skills through verified badges. These credentials are instantly shareable and recognized by organizations worldwide. In my case, building a portfolio of 850 international credentials and over 3,000 skills has been a powerful tool. It's not about the number, it's about visibility. When someone visits my profile, they see concrete evidence of competencies across health, education, leadership, and digital transformation. Number two, advisory roles and membership. Another powerful form of recognition is serving on boards, councils, or committees. I am honored to have been invited to join global platforms like the Harvard Business Review Advisory Committee and FIP Pharmacy Technician Advisory Committee. These roles are not just about titles, they allow me to contribute my voice to shaping international discourse, and in return, they amplify my credibility as a professional. Number three, publishing and presenting. Of course, traditional recognition remains important. Publishing in journals, presenting at conferences, and sharing your research at workshops are still core. But think beyond the paper. Could your findings be turned into a short policy brief? Could you write an article for a global platform that reaches practitioners? Could you share insights in a webinar? Recognition multiplies when you diversify how and where you publish. Number four, awards, fellowships, and ambassadorships. Recognition also comes through competitive opportunities. For example, I serve as well-being ambassador for the American Society of Health System Pharmacists. These ambassador roles are not just honor, they signal trust, visibility, and leadership. How to seek, how to actively seek recognition. Now, some of you might feel hesitant. You might think, isn't seeking recognition self promotion? Let me reframe it. Seeking recognition is not about ensuring your research serves the widest possible audience. Here are few strategies. Build an online presence, have a LinkedIn profile, share updates about your work, showcase not only what you do and why it matters, curate a portfolio, maintain maintain a record of your credentials, skill, publications, and projects. Platforms like Credly make this easier than ever. And say yes to opportunities, even small speaking slots, guest blog posts, or volunteer roles can lead to major recognition later. And align with global agendas. If your research aligns with sustainable development goals, SDGs highlight that. Global organizers pay attention to work that connect to these priorities. Let me give you a story from my own journey. Years ago, when I started earning digital credentials, some people asked me, some people questioned whether they had value. They wondered, why collect badges? Why not just focus on traditional degrees? But over time, those very badges open doors. When global institutions reviewed my profile, they didn't just see my degrees, they saw a proof of continuous learning, adaptability, and verified competencies. That portfolio directly supported my invitations to join Global Advisory Council and collaborate with leading organizations. Today, when I say I have expertise in digital education or health system, I don't just make a claim. I can point to hundreds of verifiable credentials that back it up. This is the power of recognition. Overcoming barriers. I also know recognition can sometimes feel intimidated, but researchers worry. I don't have global connections or I'm just starting out. Who will recognize me? Here's the key. Recognition starts small. It might be sharing your research summary on LinkedIn. It might be submitting your first poster at a conference. It might be joining a committee in your university. Every every step builds visibility, and each step increases the likelihood that bigger opportunities will find you. So, to summarize, gaining recognition is not about showing off, it's about multiplying the reach and impact of your work. Digital credentials demonstrate your skills. Advisory roles and memberships amplify your credibility. Publishing and presenting ensure your voice is heard. Ambassadorships and awards showcase your leadership, and recognition leads back feeds back into other two pillars. If it strengthens your network and motivates you to keep building your skills. With that, we have explored all three pillars: skill, network, and recognition. Next, let's wrap this discussion with some key takeaways you can apply right away. As we near the end of the discussion, as we near the end of the discussion, I want to synthesize everything we have covered. We have established that the future ready researcher balances technical knowledge with soft skill, is alert to global trends, and actively position themselves for international visibility. You have seen how these elements, skill, network, and recognition, aren't separate efforts, but rather a feedback loop that multiplies your impact. Now, to make this hour truly count, you need to transition from absorbing knowledge to taking action. You need a tangible, immediate plan. Therefore, I am leaving you with three non-negotiable actionable steps that will start transforming your trajectory from today onwards. Three actionable steps for future ready researcher. Number one, identify one key soft skill to develop. Don't try to fix everything at once. Look at the four skills we discussed: communication, leadership, adaptability, and critical thinking, and pinpoint your biggest vulnerability. Is it simplifying complex ideas for a non specialist audience? Is it mobilizing a multidisciplinary team? Choose just one area and find one specific low stakes way to practice it this week. If it's communication, start a research thread on LinkedIn. If it's leadership, volunteer to coordinate the next team meeting. Small, consistent practice is what builds enduring skills. Engage with a new professional network of platforms. Your research reach is limited by your network's boundaries. You must actively seek out people and organizations that amplify your work. This could be joining a national association in your field, or better yet, stepping into a cross industry network, a place where health sciences meet AI or social sciences meets policy. Remember my own journey, my collaboration with organizations like IBM and Oracle became possible because I was present in these digital spaces. Not just join a group, actively contribute before you consume, as I did with Haifa. Find one new platform today and make your voice heard. Number three, explore micro credentials or digital badges to showcase expertise. In the modern world, a traditional degree is your foundation, but micro credentials are your proof of current verifiable skills. These digital skills, like the 3,000 plus skills on my Credly profile, instantly communicate your competencies to potential collaborators, funders, and advisory councils. They are globally portable and act as a powerful differentiator. Go to a platform like Credly, Coursera, or EDX and explore just one short course and align with your desired career direction. Start curating a portfolio of verified competencies that the world can immediately trust and recognize. These three actions are how you begin to see yourself not just as researcher behind a computer, but as a contributor to a global conversation. This session, Future Ready Researcher, is a cornerstone for our broader soft skill series. Please look for announcements soon for our next session, where we'll be diving deeper into topics like developing persuasive presentation skill and leveraging social media for scientific impact. But for now, I want to hear from you. We have carved out the next 15 minutes for question and answers, and I'm very thankful for this opportunity that has been provided to me. And I tried my best to present my knowledge, my information, and my experience in the best possible way. And if unfortunately I'm not being able to deliver as per your standards or as per the way you want it, I apologize. And next time I will take into consideration anything that would be suggested, but I hope it was knowledgeable for you. You enjoyed it, and I would prefer if this is recorded and later on the audience can see it, view it at their own time, in their own convenience, and learn these things and apply them. So, once again, thank you, and I'm ready for the question and answer session. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Mohammed. We've gained a lot from your expertise and your credentials. I haven't really seen anyone with this level of knowledge and expertise in your work that you've been doing, especially in being able to gain global recognition, most especially in networking. So thank you so much. And I believe most of our participants have also gained a lot. Most especially, my takeaway is that if you have to be in a group, try to actively share your contributions and do not rely solely on the community members to contribute. I think that's a way to like bring up your voice. Most times researchers do not know what to say or what to share in a group, and they are thinking that maybe there will be a kind of bias or they will be judged in their communication or in the insight. But I've come to understand that even as simple as congratulating someone in a group, in a community, it helps to build that relationship. So recognition is not just about ego, it's about you taking or owning the responsibilities of your contribution in the research world. So thank you so much. I hope we have some comments, but I'm still yet to get some questions. So thank you. Thank you for that wonderful presentation. So do we have anyone that has a question? But the most question were participants were asking if Mr. Mohammed, if you'll be able to share your PowerPoint after the section, maybe, yes. Okay, I see your email. Yes, the email is here. You can contact Mr. Mohammed if you need PowerPoint and the file for the PowerPoint presentation. If you need, yeah, he has put up his email address here. So please go on, chat him up, send him an email. He'll be able to help. And
I
I
actually
believe,
did, yes. Actually,
yes,
I
please
once
go.
did an interview with the Credleys, so if you want, I can share it with the audience as well, and they can see it. If you want, we have some
Yes,
time.
please. Yes, please. We have a few time. Yes, please.
1 second, let me just open my screen. Um,
Yes. I also have a question saying that the Credly and the other sites that you've mentioned, that are they free? Is it free for them to access it? Please, Mr. Mohammed, please go on.
Yeah, absolutely. This basically Credly is not a site of courses. It is basically the world's largest digital credentials network. It offers digital badges that you can share on your profile. You can share with your educators and things. And there are a lot of sites, so that is why I'll just open an interview, and you can just see more from here as well. So, can you see the screen?
No, I think you're still your the screen we can see now is the last part of the section, the one that says closing and question. Okay, now you've stopped sharing. Yes, we haven't seen the credit screen. Yeah.
Okay, let me just open it one second. I'll just share one screen with you. Yes, can you see it now?
Yes, yes. We can see the screen. It says, yes, there's a video. Yeah, please, we can see it. But we do not hear the audio. Is it from my end? Mr. Mohammed, the audio, I don't think we can hear the audio from the video.
Cannot hear the
Maybe
audio.
if you can increase the audio, the volume, sorry, if you can increase the volume.
Just one second, let me.
Mhm. And we also have a few questions coming up now. Are you ready
I'll
to?
just share this. Yeah, please. I'll just share it later on. If there
Okay,
are questions, yes, please, we should address them first. The
all right.
questions.
Okay, so we have a question. It says, how does one manage different fields within one profession, especially when we have been advised to pick a niche or focus on a specific niche? So what do you advise me?
Let me just see. Okay. How does one manage different fields within one profession? We have been advised to pick a niche and focus on that. Yes, it's a very good question. But the thing is that if we get better, there is always one thing, like there is one plot on which our story is going, but there are different things which strengthen it. If you, or for example, if in your field you are taking the gender diversity, if that is the thing where we are talking about the issues of gender diversity and all those things, but if we take into consideration the collaboration between the genders, the work that is being done, the quality education, we take into consideration SDG 3, global health, SDG 4, quality education, we take in SDG 17, we take all these things, then it becomes more better. It becomes, our understanding improves. So this is the most important thing, to produce a quality thing. We have to, have that understanding about the backstory, about why is it happening, how we can contribute, what is our strength, what is our weakness. So these things, these are all important in that regard.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. We have another question which is similar, but I think you've addressed it. It says, what if one has multiple passions and interests?
Well, that is good. That is a great thing. If you have got multiple passions, you have got multiple interests, it's important, because we as human beings, as self, we are not one. We are one body, but inside there are multiple emotions. When we are happy, we want to do something else. When we are sad, we want to do something else. So our
Mm,
moods, our experiences, they define us. If you have someone who travels a lot, it will be difficult for him to sit at home. But someone who is like a researcher, who is in a lab, someone who likes to read more books, he will be more happy to be in a room, to research more, to discover more. So there are different people, and you define yourself. Like if you want to be outgoing, you can adopt those activities, you can have those hobbies. And if you want to be a more of an indoor person, you can become that as well. And you can become both as well whenever you want. So you have to have give yourself options, learn new skills, adopt to new things, grow with time. And the simply, the life is to be lived.
Yeah,
That
that's
sense.
true. Yeah, that's true. Thank you so much. I'm sorry we the time we have allocated for the meeting is up now. I'm sorry if you have any questions and we are not able to address it, but I'm not seeing any more questions now because Mr. Mohammed has addressed all the questions that we see, but we've seen a lot of people commenting that this has been quite insightful and they would like to have like to see some practical examples for themselves, not just based on the information they've got so far. So I believe from henceforth, most of the people in the sections will be able to have a little bit of input. Most times it's gradually, but they'll have a little bit of input and try to apply some of the skills they have differently based on how they have actually tried to do it before now. So thank you so much for your time. And
It was a
I
pleasure.
believe
The
we will
pleasure, yes.
see, yes, we'll see more of Mohammed in the upcoming sections. But we have the next one in October, 6th of October, and we'll be sharing that in the Rising Scholars event sections in the network. So I would encourage us to join. If you are in this platform, but you have not been able to join the Rising Scholars, I think you should please try and do that. We'll have the video recordings shared in the YouTube videos. I'll be sharing that in the yes, I'll be sharing that so you can connect with Rising Scholars. In us, we have a lot of courses, and then you can also watch the videos on YouTube via Rising Scholars YouTube channel. So, Mr. Mohammed, thank you once again for being here.
Yes,
Based on
absolutely.
yeah, thank you so
It
much.
was my pleasure to be over here, and to be invited and to share this platform. And like these things, when you are making like a presentation and you are gaining knowledge, getting knowledge to share with people, you yourself learn a lot, because these are the things that we practice daily. But sometimes it's just about the habit, the consistency. You will do it 1 day or 2 day, but the one who is successful, he is doing it day in and day out, so that is the most important thing. Like I'll just like to share one small thing about I once read about Mike Tyson. Like was one of the world's best boxers.
Yeah.
So one day, like he was going, someone saw him at 5 o'clock in the
Mm.
morning in a park, and he was jogging. He was all sweating and all that thing. So the person says, "Hey, Mike, is it you?" So he said, "Yeah, it's me. So what?" He says, "Well, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. What are you doing at this time?" He says, "I want to be the champion. I'm the champion. If I don't put in the early hours, who will? And as a champion, I need to do it. I have to be different. I have to be the best. I have to put in my best effort." So they say, "Okay, but what if you saw someone coming over here at 4 o'clock in the morning?" He says, "Then so what? I'll come at 3 o'clock in the morning because I want to be the best." So this is
Yeah.
the thing, that for even for the researcher, if they want to be the best, they have to be their best versions, and they have to exceed expectations, because in today's world and in the coming time, the room for error is less. But you have to enjoy it. You have to make it your own, like
Yeah.
the world is for you to conquer, be your very best, enjoy your life, and be sincere to yourself. This is the
Yeah.
message I want them to take today. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much for that. The best, you have to create your own niche if you must be the best. And the world, I think I say the world is big enough for everyone. So yes, so you create your own niche, you create your own interest, and every other thing follows. It falls in. Yeah. Thank you so much. So now is a time for us to take picture for us to remember this section. Usually because we have it a series, we like to remember the launch of the series and the rest of the series as well. So please, this is time for us to turn on your videos, for us to see our beautiful and lovely faces. I can see Margaret, thank you. Veronica, thank you for turning on your video. Yeah, thank you, Akwasi. Yes, Akwasi, you really needed to be here, and I'm happy you eventually joined in because she had some challenge registering. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. So we just have a picture and then we can call it a day till we meet in October 6th. I'll add the link in most of the WhatsApp groups that we have joined. If you haven't joined any, please use the link in the chat to join Rising Scholars. You'll be able to join various WhatsApp groups and you'll get updates on all our upcoming sections. Thank you so much. So please strike a pose, say cheese, smile, anything you like to say. So 1, 2. Brian, you're leaving. Are you here? So 1, 2, go. Yeah. Yes. All right. So that's it. Thank you so much for your time. So bye.
Thank
We
you.
will make
Welcome.
sure the videos are available, please. Don't worry. And then the slides, Mr. Mohammed will also
Yes, I'll share
ensure
with
that he
you. I'll
sends it
share
to
them
you.
with you
Yeah.
as well.
All right. Thank you so much. Bye. See you
Thank you
next
very
time.
much.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.